What up, y'all? It's Goofy Rexy. Hope you guys are all doing well today. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the top 5, or what I believe to be some good top 5 trios here in Marvel Strike Force. Definitely trios that you should be building out here, that you should definitely be pushing to using, and definitely can get some really good quality, sort of wins and, usage, valuable usage out of them on your roster. Now, some of these are probably going to be sort of, ones that you probably already know about, but still fun to talk about, right? But then also going to be some of them I'm going to throw on this list too as well that you probably should be careful of because they can sneak up on you, and you probably also want to use as well because they're kind of fun. They're just kind of fun trios to use here, guys. So let's dive right on into it. I'm actually curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are about my list, and I'm curious to hear about some of these trios as well that you use in Marvel Strike Force as well. But before we dive into it, guys, here's a video from my sponsor. Alright guys, so today's video is sponsored by Amazon App Store. So there's a lot of new characters coming into Marvel Strike Force here, guys. Longshot, Shatterstar, Yelena, Red Guardian, and the Astonishing X-Men team. So I want to make sure that you guys have the best possible way to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck and some discounts here. The way we're going to be doing that is that we're going to be using Amazon coins through the Amazon App Store. Now, if you don't know what Amazon coins are, they're a digital currency that allows for you to buy Android apps, games, and in-game items for less money. The discounts themselves vary from about 10 to 20%. In regards to the currency, how it works is 100 Amazon coins equals $1. Now, the availability for this is going to be in specific areas like the US, UK, Australia, Germany, France, Italy, as well as Spain. Now, the way that you go about making sure that you get these Amazon coins and the discounts that you have to download the Amazon App Store from your Android device, your tablet, or your PC emulator. Then you open up that app and log in. Right away, you're going to be able to see that you can purchase those Amazon coins. There's going to be different tiers, so you can go all the way from, 100 coins all the way up to, 10,000 coins, depending on whichever way you want to go. And as you see, the different tiers, the higher you go, the discounts themselves become bigger too as well. Once you purchase your coins, then you want to make sure that you go back to the home screen, you download the Marvel Strike Force game through the Amazon App Store so that you can use your coins for that. And then once you go into that Marvel Strike Force game, then you'll be able to see that once you click on an item that you're going to be able to purchase it using your Amazon coins. Now, I'm going to be leaving a link down in the description below that is going to give you some instructions in regards to what you should do. And also as well, you want to use the link down below because that's also going to make sure that you are going to be able to get those discounts too as well. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helps. Y'all go have some fun. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope you guys got some good information out of that video there. Obviously, if you have any questions, the description is down below, giving you all the details that you need, of course. And if you have any questions about anything, you can leave it in the comments too as well. Happy to try to guide you through it as best as I possibly can. Love Amazon coins, been using it for about a week now. Loving the discounts that I'm getting here, so hope you guys will too as well. But listen, let's dive into the list here. The first team I got on my list. This is in no order, by the way. The first team I have on the list, personally one of my favorites, if not my favorite, the favorite that I have right now in Marvel Strike Force are the symbiotes, and specifically Symbiote Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, and Carnage. The trio works so well together. I typically, in U7, we're doing U7.2. I typically use this team with Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, these three characters right here. I love them, man. I love what they're able to do. They're a fast team. Very, very, very fast team, heavy debuff team, right? I love watching those debuffs pile up on the enemy and then having Carnage just go in and just do that additional damage with that special, man. Bro, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I love the animations of this team. I know I'm not supposed to be talking about kits, right? But man, I love the animations on the team too as well. Symbiote Spider-Man, when he does that web slam, and then he does the two-turn slow. I love this team. I love what they're able to do. Anti-Venom is really giving that team a lot more sustain, clearing heal blocks. I love the basic. If you have Striker, the Striker ISO on Anti-Venom, being able to apply, and of course the basic T4, being able to apply those two random positive effects twice is darn good on that team. I think he does some sneaky damage too. I think he does some pretty sneaky damage, but I really like this team. Obviously with Symbiote Spider-Man, they're getting that 100% drain. They're a fun team to use, man. They're a super fun team to use in Marvel Strike Force. I love using them. I use them as much as I can. Obviously they're great also as well You know, I primarily use this team right now, you know, to counter the Asgardians in war, but there can be some other teams as well in war, but obviously raids is where they're really going to shine, and that's where I use them a lot. I mean, I love this team. This team can also be used for the Gold Rush Challenge too, right? Gold Rush Challenge, you know, I use this team right here, the 3-star, you know, that tier 14 level of the Gold Rush Challenge. Listen, man, really good team, but these three right here, this combination of these three characters are a lot of fun, and I really enjoy using them. All right, next on the list. All right, the next team or the next trio that I have on this list here is Thanos, Black Bolt, and Ebony Maw. This is a really good trio. This is kind of like a depends on how I feel on the day, right? It's like a first or a secondary sort of raid sort of trio that I really like to use. You know, just kind of going back old school, right? Remember Thanos with the, you know, used to put him on that BKT team, Minerva, you know, Rocket, getting that energy on kills, you know, from Thanos. You know, it's kind of that same idea too as well, right? Thanos in the middle, giving Black Bolt, giving Ebony Maw that energy, right? That ability energy, so that they can do a lot more of their attacks. I mean, this is a really strong combo. I mean, can you imagine Black Bolt being able to do, you know, pretty much basically his ultimate ability? You know, what does his ultimate ability do? 500% damage. And of course, I have him at gear tier 13 right now, you know, 90K, I mean, 6 and 6. So, I mean, listen, man, this guy's doing a lot of really good damage. So getting that ability energy fed to Thanos on a consistent, fed from Thanos to Black Bolt on a consistent basis, is also really dope. And I like this too as well, like Thanos feeding that energy to Ebony Maw for this other reason too as well. Not just the, yeah, I know the ultimate, right? He's still in that 3%. He's doing it 4 times. Yeah, I get that. But you know what I also really like too as well is really the special ability. Being able to do this multiple times too, applying defense up for 2 turns to your team. Also as well applying, you know, counter to Thanos, and applying counter to himself as well. You know, because remember with that basic attack, he's also applying bleeds. So whenever anyone attacks Ebony Maw, you know, he's also going to be able to apply those bleeds. So that counter, you know, on Ebony Maw can be quite good and quite vicious too as well. You know, and I also like the fact that he's going to be able to apply that defense down, the offense down to the enemy team. That's going to make it harder for them to be able to beat you in raids too as well. You tag that on with a combination of Minerva and then Emma. You know, that's pretty much basically who I run with this team. So I'll put the 2 additions of Emma and Minerva on that raid team too as well. This is really strong, man. A lot of fun. The ability energy mainly from Thanos. And also taunting too as well. So Thanos is also taking on a lot of that damage. Minerva is there to revive him. As I said, you know, as throwing her on a part of this team. I really like this trio together, mainly because of that ability energy to Black Bolt, ability energy to Ebony Maw. I really love this trio. Y'all should definitely use this trio in Marvel Strike Force raids if you're not already doing so. All right, since we're talking about Ebony Maw and Thanos, we might as well bring in the ultimate trio, right? The Black Order trio here in Thanos, Ebony Maw, and Obsidian. Really strong team too as well. Really strong trio in Marvel Strike Force and MSF. Woo, man. Cole can be annoying, bro. Cole can be so annoying when facing this team. Obviously, if you have him on your team, there's a lot of things that he does. He's an anchor of this team. He's pretty much essentially there to make sure that Thanos and Ebony Maw stay alive, right? Corvus and Proxima, they're gonna die. They have very low, they don't have great health, and they could get deleted pretty fast, but Cole is really there to make sure that Ebony Maw and Thanos are staying alive. Obviously, payback whenever you hit Ebony Maw and you hit Thanos, you know, you're gonna be getting that counter attack here from, you know, from Obsidian. Obsidian is also giving additional health to this team too as well. So Thanos, you know, and Ebony Maw are gonna benefit from that additional health also too as well. Ebony Maw, man, if we haven't talked about her, sorry if that's my daughter yelling. She's watching The Lion Guard. I apologize again, but this entire team, this entire trio, man, this is really the strong point of that Black Order team, right? Ebony Maw giving that team immunity, you know, once again doing the offense down. He also clears counters. So if you have any team that you're facing that has that typically gets a lot of counters on him, you know, he's also going to be able to clear those counters too as well. And obviously Thanos is the big damage. He's a big damage on that team. You know, he's also lowering damage off lowering damage or armor off the other team too as well too. So, you know, did I get that right? Was he low? I think he's lowering damage and armor, right? Once he's in power with that ultimate ability here. Yeah, he's lowering damage and armor by 10% for all the enemy allies too as well. So, I mean, listen, this is a killer trio. This is a trio right here that you worry about facing that Black Order team. You know, when you're facing them, I mean, there's a lot that they give. There's a lot of really strong points of this team. Typically, when I'm fighting a Black Order team, I'm trying to get Ebony Maw out of there as quickly as possible. I know I got to deal with Cole, but, you know, Ebony Maw, I'm trying to get him out of there as quickly as possible. Then I'm going Cole, and if I can get to Thanos, then I can get to Thanos. But typically, man, it's really hard to be able to get through this team because they're also fast too. You know, they're also pretty quick also too as well. And Thanos just does so much damage, man. Man, it's a really strong team. You know, this is really the killer trio as a part of that Black Order team. Definitely. If you haven't gotten Ebony Maw yet, you make sure you go get Ebony Maw. Cole is kind of hard to get right now, which I'm pretty still salty about because he's in premium orbs and farmable in premium orbs. But still, at the same point, strong team, guys, that you definitely should go for in MSF. So another sneaky good combo, guys, I have them highlighted right here, is Hela, Mordo, and Scarlet Witch. I know y'all probably looking at me like, bro, seriously, trio? Like, this is the trio that you're talking about? Pause. Wait for a second. So we know Mordo, right? Mordo is a debuff given individual. I dislike him in raids. He's one of my most hated raid characters, but I do like him when he's on my team because he's able to control a lot of the field for me, right? So Mordo, with his special ability, blinds, you know, stuns. What does he do? All slows. You know, he's also applying slows too as well. Obviously, ultimate ability, he does heal block. That's pretty good too. But I really like the special ability from Mordo, being able to land those blinds and being able to land those slows. And of course, remember Hela's ultimate ability, right? She is going to spread those 4 negative effects from the primary target to all secondary targets that are there too as well on the field. And then guess what? Scarlet Witch, with her ultimate ability, what does she do? She prolongs those negative effects by a duration of 1. Oh my God, is that not beautiful? I love this combo for that reason. It's probably something that you're probably, I mean, if you don't have a full Asgardian team, or if you don't have, you know, if you don't have a full Supernatural team and you're looking for a 5th member on Supernatural team, then Hela on that team could really do some damage. You know, especially if you have the other characters there too as well, like Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange too. I mean, really good, man. Really good to be able to have this sort of combo, you know, there on that team. I mean, my goodness, you don't need Elsa at that point. You don't need Elsa on this team, but I like this trio because of that. The spreading of the negative effects. The initial negative effects for Mordo, like a blind, right? And then spreading those effects and then prolonging them for an extra turn. Super sneaky. Really good trio. If you have an opportunity to use them, I would definitely make sure that you use this trio, guys. You'll thank me later. All right, last but certainly not least on the list here are the Marauders, specifically Emma, Mr. Sinister, and Strife, right? Strife, similar. It's very similar as well to what we had with, you know, with the Black Order team, right? So with the Black Order team, Cole is the anchor for that team. Strife is very much the anchor for the Marauders team too as well. For the most part, right, the Marauders team, without, if you have 80k characters and then you have a 50k Strife, that team's not going to do as well, right? You're going to be able to get to Sinister, you're going to be able to kill him, you're going to get to Mystique, you're going to be able to kill her, Sabretooth, bye-bye, right? But really, Emma can take care of herself, but, you know, really, you want Sinister to stay alive, and you need a big Strife in order to be able to keep, you know, Mr. Sinister alive. So this team, this is the reason why I had them as a trio. I thought about Mystique as being the 3rd, you know, sort of addition, but I was as a trio, but I'm like, you know what? Really, it's Strife that holds this team together, man. Obviously, of course, you know, a lot of the things that he does, the barrier, gaining additional barrier if they drop below 50%. I mean, he's really kind of anchoring his team and keeping Sinister alive so that he can do his clones, so that he can transfer those positive effects. You know, he's really giving them the extra focus, all that jazz, right? He's really there. You want Sinister to stay alive on that team because he provides a lot of great utility support for that entire Marauders unit. And of course, Emma Frost, you want her to stay alive for as long as possible too as well, right? Because she's giving mutant villains immunity. She's also reducing the speed bar of the enemy team. She's clearing positive effects. She's clearing negative effects off your team. So, man, and then also she's giving immunity. Yeah, she's giving immunity to, if I didn't say that already, she's giving immunity to a character like Strife, who's gonna taunt often too as well, to keep that team alive, man. So really, ultimately, it's hard to be able to get through that team when you have a really big Strife on that team. So for me, Strife is, like I said, just as valuable as any of the other characters. This is valuable on that Marauders team as Mr. Sinister and as Emma Frost too as well. But I love this trio. I think that they're really strong in arena. They're strong in war, obviously. They're a really, really good team, guys, that I would definitely say that you should invest into. Don't sleep on them. I think the two teams that I've mentioned here so far that are really, really top teams are Blackwater and, the Marauders. Symbiotes are really strong too as well. And that Raid team that I talked about too, also really, really good. Now, some other teams, I got them written down here. Some other sort of killer trios that I thought about too as well were the Emma, Blob, and Magneto combination. Really strong too as well, especially if you have Blob with Strife on that team. Blob is going to be given those additional deflects. Blob is very good with resistance too, so he's not going to get a lot of negative effects placed on him. And on top of that, you have Emma, who's going to make sure that he doesn't get any of those negative effects placed on him too as well, with that immunity that she's going to be given to those mutant villain allies. I also thought about this other combo, Phoenix, Colossus, and Cyclops. Enough said too as well. Colossus is so much better when he has Phoenix there, and Cyclops is such a big damage dealer for that team, always gaining those charges too. I mean, it's just a really strong combination. Phoenix is just great. Also, anybody that attacks Phoenix, Cyclops is also teeing off on that team too as well. Another team, super difficult team to go against, is also Taskmaster, Merc Riot Guard, and Merc Lieutenant. Whoa! What do you want to talk about there? Seriously, that's another really strong combo, strong trio too as well, that is very, very difficult to be able to get through when you're facing them on war defense. Merc Riot Guard blocks like a maniac. Merc Lieutenant heals like a maniac. You know what I mean? And the Taskmaster, he just does what he does, right? Super, super, super strong. I don't know, guys. This is it. I'm done with the list, guys. I want to know what your thoughts are. Obviously, guys, let me know. What do you think of the top trios here in Marvel Strike Force? Love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.